Dives a little deeper on this postseason.
Yeah, Rich, the 2023 playoffs got interesting when some new teams decided to enter the picture. And for the first time in at least 5 years, 3 teams will be getting a chance at the grand prize. The Giants and Dolphins have not seen the postseason since 2016, and the Jaguars haven't been on the action since 2017. My question to all of you is, which team is most likely to move forward this round? Maybe there's more than one. Chris, we'll start with you.
I think it's Jacksonville. I mean, I look at the quarterbacks there. You know, Skylar Thompson in Miami, oh boy, no. Brian Dable, I think, is the slam dunk coach of the year, but the Giants are still bereft of talent compared to, I think, almost every other team in this playoff chase. Trevor Lawrence reminds me of a much more talented, no offense to Kenny Pickett. I mean, Lawrence was a generational prospect, but he plays the position like Pickett with like just way extra physical gifts and natural gifts. He will make plays that make you go, wow, best quarterback in the league for the next decade. And then he'll have head scratchers. Lawrence, if he is capable of putting it together for any number of games, they could actually get to a Super Bowl. I don't think they will, but they could, because that's how good he is and that's how much talent is scattered around that roster. I say Jacksonville moves on.
I'm going to pair what you say. I think it's Jacksonville, too. You know, the Giants have pretty good running back, but I think Jacksonville has a talent and starting to come together right now. They're playing well, and I think that's what you need into the playoffs, playing well. I think they can win their first round matchup, but I don't know about after that.
Well, I will say this about the Giants real quick before AJ jumps in. They're playing the Vikings, who are the worst 12-win team in history. They have a negative point differential.
Everyone says it every year about the Vikings.
But they are. They have a negative point differential. That shouldn't even be possible to win that many more games than you lose.
And I would never be betting on Kirk Cousins, that's for sure.
AJ, what about you?
I am not going to echo everything you all said, but I will agree in that I had Jacksonville earlier this year in LA against the Chargers. So I got to see Trevor Lawrence up close and personal, and what a difference a year makes. And it goes to what we were talking about before with coaching staff changes. And there were a lot of head scratchers with Trevor Lawrence last year and thinking maybe he wasn't the draft pick that everybody thought he could be playing at this level. And look what has changed with the right coaches around him. So I think I agree with you all as far as Jacksonville having a lot of potential and a lot of depth as well on their defensive side of the ball.
Hey, Steelers, look what a coaching change can do for a quarterback that seemingly looked to be not really panning out, and now he is contending in the playoffs with his team, and very well, enough to make you all believe in him. But the playoffs also are interesting because for just the 5th time since 1970, all 6 games from the opening round will feature a rematch from the regular season. If you take a look at this list of matchups, which rematch excites you the most and why? And will it have a flipped result? I have some of those results too, if you can't exactly remember. So I'll start with AJ on this one. Do you see one of these teams flipping the result, or what rematch are you most looking forward to? Because I feel like you've covered some of these teams throughout the year as well.
I have covered a lot of them, but I'm actually going to seem like I'm going back on what we just talked about. I'm going to say maybe the Giants have a chance to beat the Vikings. That was a really close matchup earlier this season, decided by a field goal. I would not be surprised if they get past Minnesota. Now, beyond that, I'm not putting them much further, but I'm looking forward to that matchup. I think a lot of other ones are going to be a little more lopsided, and I'm rooting for Geno. That is such an incredible comeback journey. So I'm hopeful that Geno can beat the Niners as well.
Well, I think the Bengals are going to beat the Ravens. I think that
bye Baltimore.
That'll be switched. I like that. You know, you might call me crazy here, but I'm going to take Tampa over.
You're crazy, Rich.
Crazy.
Sorry, I had to. No, I mean, I think that this will go back on me talking so nice about Trevor Lawrence. I do think the Chargers have probably the other most purely gifted guy out there that's outside the Mahomes-Allen tier and Herbert. So I think that could be a reality. I am, however, this is my heart talking. This is not my minimal brain. I want to see Geno Smith pull that off so bad, even though I think
everyone's picking them.
Even though I think the Niners are probably the best team in the NFC, the one thing I read about them, they did feast on an easy schedule. Maybe Geno gets hot. Maybe Brock Purdy tightens up just a little bit. I'm going to say the Seahawks actually have that old puncher's chance there to pull a staggering upset.
I think it does get a little bit closer. I think the last time it was 27-7 49ers, but I do think the Seahawks can keep it a little bit closer. Geno Smith definitely has that ability to him, but I think the Niners just have a little bit too much there, Chris. But